All right, let's dive right into this. Are you ready to seamlessly bridge Twitter, which of course is now X, and GetGrowth using a secure OAuth 2.0 integration? If you're a software developer or an integrations engineer tasked with building out automated social posting, you already know that getting this initial API handshake right is absolutely critical. And let's be honest, it's often the most frustrating part of the whole project. We've all spent hours debugging a simple connection just to realize we missed a toggle somewhere. Well, we're going to fix that today. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're walking through the exact chronological steps you need to configure this API integration perfectly, totally from scratch. We are taking the guesswork out of the process by mapping out the precise OAuth 2.0 flow. By doing this together step by step, we're going to save you hours of digging through fragmented API documentation. That way, you can get straight to what you actually want to do, building the logic. Here is our quick roadmap for today. 1. Preparation and prerequisites. 2. X developer portal setup. 3. OAuth and permissions config. 4. Finalizing the connection. And finally 5. Developer best practices. Starting off with section 1, preparation and prerequisites. Let's look at our target destination. As developers, you know it's always best practice to start by looking at the exact end state we need to achieve. Inside your GetGrowth Nexus, specifically under that Connectors workspace menu on the left, you'll find your active integrations. If you look down at the bottom, there's the Twitter/X integration waiting for us. Right now, it's clearly showing that no credentials are configured yet. Visualizing this target environment first is super helpful because it gives us our exact schema requirements, which completely prevents configuration drift when we're deep in the external provider's dashboard later on. So to bridge these platforms securely, the GetGrowth docs state we need to extract 3 specific parameters to populate our payload. First up is an optional display label, just a friendly string for your own UI organization. But the heavy lifters here are the client ID, which publicly identifies our app, and the client secret, which is basically our secure cryptographic password for the OAuth 2.0 handshake. We've got to generate and extract these exact keys from X. Moving on to section 2, X developer portal setup. Apply and create app. Setting up the Twitter/X environment happens in 3 distinct phases. Step 1, you just log into the Twitter developer portal and apply for basic developer access. The source actually notes that approval for basic access is usually instant, so thankfully this is not going to block your CI/CD pipeline or delay your sprint. Step 2, once you're in, hit Create Project. You'll enter a project name and clearly define your use case. And finally, Step 3, you create an app nested right under that project. Just think of this app as the actual namespace container that's going to generate and hold your credentials. Up next, Section 3, OAuth and permissions config. Let's set up those permissions. With the app container successfully established, we have to define the strict parameters of the handshake. Let's break this down into 3 vital steps. First, navigate to the user authentication settings and explicitly enable OAuth 2.0, making sure to select Web App. Now, step 2 is literally make or break. You absolutely must use the exact redirect or callback URL provided inside your GetGrowth settings. If there is even one stray trailing slash here, your entire OAuth flow will abruptly fail with a massive 401 error. Finally, step 3, configure your scopes by enabling read and write access. It's really important to understand why we need those specific read and write scopes. Now, I know we always want to practice the principle of least privilege, but without checking that read and write box, GetGrowth simply won't have the authorization to execute your automated routines. It absolutely needs these elevated scopes to actually push out tweets, automate your backend social calendar, and manage engagement on your behalf. And here is the payoff for all that setup. Navigate over to the Keys and Tokens tab in your dashboard. This is where your designated client ID and your highly sensitive client secret are generated. Grab these values and copy them to a secure local clipboard or a password manager. And please, treat that client secret exactly like a production database password. Keep it safe. All right, section 4, finalizing the connection. Let's complete the bridge. Keys securely in hand, we're crossing back over into the GetGrowth environment. We are back in that connectors menu right inside the Add Credentials dialog we looked at a few minutes ago. And there they are, the exact empty fields waiting for the payload we just harvested. The loop is finally closing. We have our display label field, the client ID field specifically calling for the OAuth 2.0 format, and our client secret field. To map this out explicitly for deployment, here is exactly how you populate those fields. For the display label, just add something easily recognizable for your team, like my Twitter business profile. For the client ID, paste that exact alphanumeric string you copied from the developer portal. And for the client secret,
Carefully paste it in, ensuring absolutely no extra white space is included. Once those parameters are mapped, just hit Save Credentials to execute the connection and authenticate the bridge. Finally, Section 5, Developer Best Practices. Let's run through a quick security checklist. Before you consider this deployment completely finished and push it out of your mind for the next sprint, we need to talk security. To maintain a robust integration over time, strictly adhere to these practices from the docs. Always use a dedicated Business X account, not a personal one that might change hands. Keep your client secret entirely private. Keep it out of public Git repos to prevent automated scraping. Definitely enable two-factor authentication on the account. Restrict your app admin access to only the necessary DevOps or engineering folks. And lastly, exclusively use HTTPS for your redirect URLs to ensure the token exchange happens over an encrypted tunnel, totally avoiding any man-in-the-middle vulnerabilities.
So we did it. We've walked through the entire process, from setting up the environments to securing that final API connection. Now that you've successfully integrated X with GetGrowth, you literally have a highly capable automation pipeline right at your fingertips, ready and waiting for commands. The real question I want to leave you with today is, with this secure OAuth bridge now reliably handling the handshake, what complex, high-impact engagement workflows are you going to code next?